feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I hate it, clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. Take off. I'm on a rocket, a space dog. Bought a new car from Elon, wanna race. I've been asking how long is it gonna take. I've been cracking the car, had to break the safe. I've been righting my wrongs, had to change my ways. I was stuck in one place, so I had to shake. They try holding me down, but I found my way. Roddy Rich and no bicycle, love me. Ride away, then my heart went on ice again. Find the balance, my patience been going thin. In the field every day till I reach the end. I've been up on your side like we out of bounds. Ain't no way that they think that it's stopping now. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. I've been waiting for my turn to come around. Air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out. I feel that air it out, air it out. I had to clear it out, clear it out. I feel like Superman to tear it down. Call as a quarterback and send him out.
I'm muted. Nobody told me. What's up, football fans? It's your boy Avery, and welcome to the Air It Out podcast brought to you by Inside the Hashes. I don't know if you know this, but I got two of the best analysts on planet Earth in the building here today, so I'm going to introduce them to you. None other than the man, the myth, the legend, the coach. Darren Braxton is in the building. Say what's up to people.
What's going on, people? Listen, I know I missed a little bit of time here, but I'm back. We back. And them Ravens is flying high now. Them Ravens is flying high now. All right, we fluttering a little bit, I mean, but we doing better. We doing better. Little flutter. I mean,
okay, all right, yeah. I mean, I can't talk, so I'm gonna let you have it, my boy. And then directly below me, my man, my brother, B Merch in the building. Brandon, say what's up to the folks, my guy.
Ooh, I wish I could say what's up, but the camera keeps turning me, dog.
I don't know what's going on, my G.
It's getting man. They don't want me to talk to y'all tonight, man. I don't know what's going on. They don't want me to talk. They don't want me to talk, man. They don't want me to talk about Old Man Rivers. That's what they don't want me to talk about.
Oh my.
Pleasure to be back on the pod, the best one this side of the Atlantic, whatever ocean y'all on, right?
Atlantic, Pacific, we here.
Pacific, Indian, whatever one you on. This the best one.
That side of the planet. How about that? All right, listen. Yeah. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I want to get directly into tonight's content. So we're gonna do that right now, and we're starting with some unfortunate news, ladies and gentlemen. But it's a gladiator sport. It's a brute sport. It is a full contact sport. Collision sport is how it's actually labeled. And unfortunately, this comes with the territory. But we hate to see it in general. And we definitely hate to see it when it happens to the quote unquote superstars. If you don't know what I'm talking about the injuries to none other than the Patrick Mahomes and the Micah Parsons. The two have unfortunately had suffered season-ending injuries this past Sunday. Honestly, within a 30-minute span, which was kind of wild. I believe it was like a 30-minute span that those injuries happened. But both Patrick Mahomes and Micah Parsons torn ACL in the same leg at that, right? No, I think Micah's his right leg, but I'm not 100% sure.
They got a pair.
But yeah, so torn ACL for Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes obviously entered his game already dealing with a lingering knee issue in his left leg. So it was not something that was not on the radar of the team, right? I think they all knew that it was a possibility, but it's Patrick Mahomes. And if he says he's good enough to go and you're still fighting for a playoff spot, at that point, I guess you got to kind of go for it. Kind of like you know, the risk with Tyrese Halliburton in the finals, Game 7 last year. We know what calf strains tend to lead to when overexerted, popped Achilles, but it's Game 7, and this is your starting point guard. And if he says, I'm going, not much you can tell him. And then with Micah Parsons, not necessarily dealing with any lingering issues reported that we know of, just unfortunate freak play. Not something that we haven't seen Micah do. Normally, he wasn't kicked, he didn't trip, he didn't stumble, he didn't step on anything. Just an unfortunate flip of the coin, if you will, and blows out the knee. I'll start with you, Coach. What were your initial reactions to both of these injuries? And my question in totality is, what are the realistic odds for the Packers moving forward? Obviously, with the loss, the Chiefs were eliminated. But what are the realistic outlook for the Packers losing, honestly, their best defensive player, the guy who actually, rewrited the course of the season for the Green Bay Packers? What are your thoughts?
So, first, you never want to see anyone go down, especially superstar players, not star players, but superstar players in this league, and that's what both of them are. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
You can hate on Patrick Mahomes, you can hate on Micah as much as you like, but when you see greatness, when you see guys balling out, when you see guys doing it week in, week out, being a dominant force in the league, you got to commend it. So I hate to see them both go. Hate that both of them got injured on non-contact. Just, it's part of the game. You hate to see it, though. Now, I've said my condolences.
Get to the good stuff. Get to the good stuff.
Can we play Oh Happy Day? Can we play Oh Happy Day that we do not have the Chiefs in the playoffs in the last 8 years?
What?
There will finally be, there will finally be a new representative that is not the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. They have been there the last 8 years. You ask for ramifications. I'm giving you the most important ramifications. The AFC is now wide open when it comes to the playoffs. Can we not agree that no matter what, as long as they had Patrick Mahomes, they had a chance to win and get into the playoffs? Yes or no?
Yeah, but it sounds like you're happy that somebody got hurt.
I'm happy that there is finally going to be a new person in there. I would have loved for people to go through Patrick Mahomes, but again, this is an old happy day for that. Now, the ramification that you asked about, which is the Packers, more importantly, that opens up a lot on the NFC side.
Okay.
Packers are not as strong as they now once were. The Lions still have a possible chance to come up. The Bears can stay and really take this lead away from everyone else. While also you're now opening up and you're taking yourself out of the race realistically for the number 1 seed. I don't see them being able to get it without Micah. The Packers still had a chance to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. They lost that when they lost Micah. That is going to be a hurt piece because that bye matters. It matters. You don't have your defensive piece, your anchor. And now when you think long-term, he might be ready for the beginning of next season, or he might be still recovering. You spent 2 first-round draft picks on him. And one of your primary D tackles, run stopping or not, that you've had for years on that defense. And now he's gone. How do you replace 12 and a half sacks his first year, not even in a full year? That's a big loss for them. Opens up a lot having him gone. They're still going to be competitive, still going to be good games, but the Packers are not the same Packers we've seen the last few weeks without Micah Parsons, period.
All right. I'm not mad at it. Brandon, what are your thoughts? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Yeah, I mean, it's an unfortunate situation, as you and Coach alluded to. Never want to be a fan, seeing something like this happen, especially when you got, these star players and or superstar players that Coach was saying too, that just went down. So it's It's not something we like to celebrate, but at the same time, I mean, incidental.
What I'm saying.
Incidental. It's like I'm not gonna celebrate it, but I might do the. But
Kids
either
hold up.
it,
I mean,
you gotta, listen. You gotta take the victories where you can if you are the opposing teams. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, I'm not particularly going to be as cheerful about it because, unlike the Ravens, it's not like we've been stumping on the door trying to get into the Super Bowl for years at this point. But nonetheless, I can see, how other teams would come to that conclusion. Now, for Micah, Micah, in some people's eyes, is considered already all time, just in terms of his effectiveness, his ability to change the game, and to me, right, he was the reason why they were still going because their offense really hasn't been the greatest, right? This season overall, in my opinion, right? It's been a little lackluster. And Jordan Love, I remember, I think the last time I was on here, we know what he can do and what he's capable of doing, but it's just inconsistent, right? And it's really reflective of the entire offense, right? It's just inconsistent. But that defense has been hanging, strong, for them so that they can pull out some of these victories that they've gotten this year. And now you go from being potential contenders, maybe potentially making a run in the NFC Championship. I don't know if I ever saw them making the Super Bowl, but at least they were contenders, in the conference championship. To now you kind of drop to maybe potentially, maybe even sneaking into the playoffs, depending on how these next couple of weeks play out. I don't know if I have faith in the Bears. Lions, I don't even know if I have faith in them. They're also an inconsistent team that I expected more out of coming down the stretch here. But again, they got a fighter's chance, but I don't think that it's a positive outlook far as making a run towards a Super Bowl or even at this point an NFC Championship. Because as we know, when it gets in the playoffs, it's those defensive plays that matters, those little plays that that might change the narrative or the direction of the game. And Michael Parsons would definitely be a part of that for them. So it's unfortunate, for them, and we'll have to see how this happens with Micah because as we know, coming off the edge, you're putting a lot of weight, time in, time out to make those plays that he's making and have the dexterity that he plays with, being able to do all the different moves he does to get around those edge tackles rather. And so we got to see how he recovers from this. I mean, I don't know if it's career ending, but how that ACL injuries aren't always, you can't always have like a Adrian Peterson situation, right? Where people just bounce back like that. So we'll have to see and measure that as well. So
yeah,
that's my take on Micah.
Yeah, interesting. I'll say this, man. You AFC guys really must have looked at Patrick Mahomes like the boogeyman. The fact that y'all are praising hallelujah, shouting from the mountaintops, y'all really was terrified.
Hey, coach, coming from the guy who's in the NFC right now, right?
Goodness gracious, you guys.
Only NFC guy, he don't understand.
Right. You don't get it.
Y'all division, y'all conference.
Hey, listen.
It don't matter. Just have a good team with you. You be all right.
We don't understand because we've seen the teams like the Falcons actually compete against the Chiefs. And we've seen the Ravens get beat. We've seen the Colts get beat. I mean, I'm just saying.
Let's keep it around.
Hold on. What the face at? What the meme at?
Hold on. I let y'all talk. I'm going to talk. Now, what I'm saying is, y'all clearly had that man as the boogeyman. He was like the Loch Ness monster, Chucky in the closet, because y'all was terrified out here screaming from the mountaintops. Yes, we finally have a chance. Oh my! Like, come on, man. That's terrible. But that also goes to show, in all actuality, jokes aside, how dominant, how good he really is. I mean, the dude is an absolute. He's a unicorn, right? Like he's one of those generational players. I'm not going to say generational talent, but a generational player where it's just like, man, I don't think anybody could have seen this coming, and we don't know when's the next time we will see it. All those different things, and the trajectory of his career. To your point, Brandon, and it still is very high. I do find it ironic that at this point, 9 years into his career, he suffers the same injury that Tom Brady suffered in the same leg in the same year of his career. So I do find that interesting, and they both had 3 Super Bowls at the time. Very, very interesting. Very, very, but whatever. I'm gonna leave that to be where it is. But all in all, I'm there. It's one of those situations where you just kind of pray that, again, the rehab and the recovery goes well. To your point, Brandon, I don't think that I think it may switch his style of play a little bit because it is much more of a premier position, if you will, right? He's the face of the franchise. And we saw even Joe Burrow kind of take a step back in how he played, and Carson Wentz take a step back in how he played after suffering injuries like that. So we may see a difference in that, but we're just kind of hoping that the recovery goes well and that it's a full, swift recovery with no lingering issues, and that he'll be back strong, even better next year. And then same for Micah Parsons, right, man? Just hoping for a speedy, swift recovery. I think that I do believe that it obviously has much more of an impact, obviously, with the Chiefs being limited. I think it has much more of an impact for the Packers up front because of the fact that they're in playoff contention. They're the 7th seed in the playoffs right now. To your point, Darren, depending on how the weeks played out, they could have still potentially gotten the 1 seed. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Rams are just on a tear right now. I just think that they've got the momentum, and they've got an offense that looks it's hard to stop that offense. So I feel like they're at a point where it's just like, we're going to score more than you. Can you keep up, right? Defense, be darned, right? Even their defense isn't bad in the front four with Jared Verse and Byron Young and
Braden Fisk.
Braden Fisk, right? So it's not like their defense is slouches, and their corners have been playing much better football this year. And then Nate Landman has looked like an all-pro linebacker this year, absolutely just all over the place, forcing fumbles, doing exactly what needs to be done. So I do believe it'll be the Rams, but to your point, like I said, I do think that it hurts them from one, obviously potentially winning the division, getting a higher seed, and then 2, to Brandon's point, I think it really is going to be an eyesore in the playoffs, where that pressure is going to be needed. Every single play, every single possession matters. And Micah Parsons is a guy who instills fear on the offensive side of the ball, right? So not having that guy, it changes some of the things and changes. And honestly, it might even change the morale of the defense, knowing, man, I got to cover a half second longer because Micah's not here. Right. So as the corners, do you take more chances and maybe give up more plays? Do you play more conservative, not the way you typically would because he's not there? So it'll be interesting to see the fallout there. But all in all, I think we want to see them both come back healthy, stronger, better than ever. Michael Parsons was the one in absolute historic tear. I mean, the start to his career was, honestly, Hall of Fame worthy off rip. At least 12 sacks every year of his career. So far, I believe he's been 5 years, 6 years. Like, that is absolutely, he's on pace. On pace right now, if he had a 20-year career, to potentially tie Bruce Smith. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying?
More than that,
I'm just saying. But that's, again, the biggest thing is we're praying for you guys, praying for a full, speedy, healthy recovery. Coach.
Real quick, I just want to know for this because you lined it up perfectly. Micah Parsons, 13 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 13.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 14 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 12 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 12.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. That is 65 sacks in his first 5 seasons.
And again, you said 12.5 this year, and I honestly he probably would have gotten.
He only played 2 full seasons.
He probably would have gotten
2 of the 3. I'm sorry, 2 of the 5.
Yeah,
he played full seasons, 2 of the 5,
and he probably would have gotten to. He probably would have gotten to at least 15 this year. At minimum, I think he would have gotten to 15. And
let's be real. His rookie year, he played double duty.
Right. That's before they found out. Before they sent out the superpower.
Exactly. So it's like it's just again, you're talking borderline. Let's just round it up. Let's say 70 sacks in 5 years. And like let's be clear here, people. He ain't even really in his grown man body yet.
He's still right.
You know
He's
like,
still small. He's still tight on the smaller side.
He's just now entering his prime. Like people, like I think people forget that. Like he just signed a new deal, his first long-term mega deal. This is his first one. I mean, so let's just say over the next 5, he just does what he did. We're talking about again 140 sacks in 10 years. Jeez. Like anyway, but I'm gonna get off that soapbox again, wishing a speedy, healthy recovery to both of them, as well as some of the other players who suffered season-ending injuries this past weekend. We don't have enough time to name all of them, but we do want to give a shout out to you all as well. Praying for your speedy recovery as well. All right. Now we're going to jump into a little bit of controversy. All right. A little bit of controversy, ladies and gentlemen. And it's the fingers. It's the fingers.
Right.
A little bit of controversy, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll go ahead and let you know that recently a premier, a prime, if you will, a superstar in and of itself has recently, in the last couple of weeks, made some very cryptic, if you will, comments.
You being nice about this. You being nice about this.
And I just want to know, Joey B has been under the spotlight recently for his comments. I'll go with what he's said most recently. Burrow was asked if he's ever envisioned playing for another franchise. This is at a post-game conference. The inquiry comes a week, again, after Burrow said that he wanted to have fun if he was going to keep playing football, which obviously we don't know what that means, but whatever. And his response to the question was, a lot of crazy things happen every year. If he ever, again, I'm gonna repeat that. He was asked if he ever envisioned playing for another franchise. His response was, a lot of crazy things happen every year. Not, no, absolutely not. I want to be a Bengal for life. A lot of crazy things happen every year. And he added, that's how it goes. Certainly have some text that didn't make a lot of sense to me after all that. But listen, I'm going to, that's the layup. I want to hear from y'all before I give you input. Brandon, what are your thoughts on Joe Burrow and his most recent comments over the last 2 weeks in Cincy?
I don't know, man. Joey B, man, he Hollywood to me, man. I don't know. He after that Super Bowl run, I just never looked at him as oh man, this is a great quarterback, and I don't know. It's a little Broadway Joe. I don't know, something else in the water. He was at, what was he at? He was at was it Michael Rapinoe's, the all white party, and it's just been a little different. And why I say this is because I think this is just some tactics, man. I feel like this is just, granted, there have been some wild trades, right, in reality that we know have taken place the past couple of years, right? That is true. But at the same time,
Michael Parsons being one of them.
Yeah, right. Primary example, right? But at the same time, I mean, I don't think that there's any situation that comes in the past where the Bengals are doing any dealing in any way, shape, or form, obviously, of Joe Burrow. I think, obviously, as an organization, you'd probably get rid of position players before you get rid of a quarterback. I can see them trying to do something with Jamar Chase if it came down to it before they do something with Joe Burrow. Now, obviously the elephant in the room is like, I mean, you had Joe Flacco doing this thing for a little bit before he came back. Obviously, I obviously don't think that that's a trajectory for any like Super Bowl or anything like that, which I don't think the organization thinks. But it's just funny. To me, it's a troll. It's funny. He's kind of playing the narrative of what's taking place in the league, and you know, the other piece of it that I want to highlight though is that let's not forget Joe Burrow has kind of been, as much as he's been a top, passer in the league for some years now, right? He has endured through some different situations that, I mean, I'm not a football player, in my own, right? But I can imagine also in some way, shape, or form that it could bring some impact in totality to that, relative to not only just the comments that he made on that part, but also the comments that he made about just trying to get back to having fun. Because at this point, I'm also kind of like, is the game even fun to him anymore? Is there any enjoyment? Because, I mean, half the time, granted, you get to play with your college buddy and, you get to, obviously play with one of the best, if not the best receiver in the league, all great stuff, for organization that obviously, treats you well. But the playing experience probably ain't been fun for him. He tore his ACL last year. And he's also had a couple other lingering injuries throughout his career, primarily because they haven't done, in my opinion, the best work with that line. I would think if this is your guy, you want to invest as much as possible in the line. But I get it; you need to retain talent in the position, areas as well. But still, it's got to be at some point. There's got to be some give. So there's some truth. I'm saying all this to say I think there's some truth to it. But at the same time, I think it's like 70% trolls, 30% truth to it.
Okay.
My opinion.
Coach?
Get him out of here. Get him out of here.
There's the Ravens fan. We're back at this again, Avery. We're back at this again.
Listen. It has been dated back even to Carson Palmer. That organization does not know how to treat its players. Whether that is get protection, so he does not get hurt and does not have to take as many sacks, which he's taking the most sacks of his career right now, up to this amount of games. Like he's going to break his record for sure. But my thing is this: what have you done since they went to the Super Bowl? And I'm going to give it to them. The Bengals went to the Super Bowl before Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. That's nice, and I love that for y'all. That's cool.
I love that for you.
I realistically hate it for them. But again, I love that for you. What have you done since, other than miss the playoffs? Out the last 3 years? You've been hurt 2 out of those 4 years. What have we done, Joe Burrow? What are they putting around you? They gave you Chase. They gave you T. Higgins. They have not given you a competent tight end that you can really do nothing with. They've been giving you replacement starter level tight ends. Where's your third receiver? You had at one point in time Tyler Boyd, who was a very competent third receiver, along with these guys. They have not been able to replace that solidly. They keep trying to throw people there. They tried with the line. They gave you Orlando Brown Jr. Your line still sucks. You're still taking some of the most egregious hits that you don't need to take. There's no reason why you had a turf toe injury at the very beginning of this year to start the year to knock y'all basically out of playoff contention because you had to miss almost 8 games. Get out of there. You don't want to be there. The organization shows you that they don't really care about you. They want to sell these tickets, and you sell tickets. Get out of there. I don't mind playing you. But what I don't want is for a great talent to waste talent. Again, listen up. I'm going to say it again. As much as I don't mind playing you, I cannot and I don't like having to watch a great talent waste talent. That's the worst thing that happens in football. And right now, that is a waste of talent. It just is what it is.
Yeah. So first, Coach, you do mind playing him. You hate
No. I don't mind playing Joe Burrow. No. I'll make sure we are all understanding. I'll say it live on air. I don't mind playing Joe Burrow. I don't like playing Jamar Chase.
Okay, all right.
That's who I don't like playing.
I get that.
His career average.
So Jamar strikes fear. Jamar strikes fear. Okay.
And a touchdown.
I'll give you that.
Hey, bro. Ever since Jamar took that slant his rookie year back, ever since he took that slant route to the house his rookie year,
140 yards and a touchdown
average.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like playing Jamar Chase.
Yeah, he different. He different against the Ravens. He said
Jamar is good against Joe Burrow. The Ravens can play.
BTA.
They can't stick Jamar Chase. And in particular, Marlon Humphreys can't stick Jamar Chase.
No, he can't.
I mean, not many can though.
No, don't care. He can't stick him. And there's been too many times. But I digress.
All right. So
put Nate on him. Put Nate Wiggins.
No, you don't want.
I know.
So
he wasn't bad.
Nate is good. So let's just address that. Nate is good. He's solid. He's got great feet. He's not physical enough for Jamar Chase.
That's what I'm saying. He's not bad.
It'll literally have to be strictly technique, and Jamar he's just too good. But yeah, like I said, I think it's a situation where it sounded like you just want him up out of the AFC North. Because that's that's your division rival. You don't want to have to see it, but whatever, it is what it is. I'm going to say this though, to your point, Brandon, it's sounding very Andrew Luckish, right? It's sounding like he's to the point where it's like, yo, these injuries are pissing me off, man. Like I haven't had to deal with this up until now, and it's like I think he's
not even mobile like Andrew Luck was.
I think he's starting to realize the ramifications of, you got me weapons, but you didn't protect me. Right? Let's not forget, Joe Burrow was an advocate and a champion for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase getting their money and different things like that. Granted, I think he'd have been the champion for any teammate, right? Lyman included. But he was an advocate for that. But I do believe that the nonchalant Joe Burrow attitude is starting to show in that when you're sitting on the sideline for how long he's been sitting on the sideline over the last 4 years, you start to honestly withdraw. And he's already been somebody who's like not an isolated person, but he's not very much a rambunctious, robust personality, any of those different things. And we saw on Netflix's Quarterback that he's not the most socially, he's not a big social butterfly, a little bit social.
Gave high school vibes.
And so even some of the conversations that he was having on there, I'm like, that's what you were like talking about on the practice field. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, you watch that again. It's not bad. It's just different. And I'm just like, okay, so it seems to me like he's a little bit more introverted. And when you're sitting on the sideline, not being able to do what you love, it takes away from you. It pulls from you. And then on top of that, you're not being on the sideline because of how you play, something that you can fix, right? It's because you're hurt. It's one thing if like I got benched. It's like, all right, let me go back in the lab, man. I'm bugging out here. I'm saying like, what am I doing? Oh that's what it is. My footwork. All right, man. Let me get back on. You know what I mean? It's like I'm hurt. I can't play. I know that's got to be frustrating for him. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'll pose this question to you guys though, since it's happening and since there's potential trade rumors and all the different things. I'll pose this question to you. Who, if any, is a potential trade partner for Joe Burrow? What are some landing spots that you could see him going to? And again, this is just hypothetical. I'm not saying come up with a trade package or anything like that. I'm saying a team that you could see him going to. And what I mean by that is you don't have to be like, oh, I'm going to exclude this team because they don't have the draft capital or they don't have the cap. No, include them if you want. I'm saying what's a team that you want to see him on next year, if not Cincinnati? Brandon, I'll start with you.
I got two teams.
Okay.
First one that comes to mind, partnering with his other LSU teammate going to Minnesota. I don't know if the JJ McCarthy project is going to work out. And it would make a very, very great, not only for, team wise, but it would make a great story, obviously kind of going along with, okay, he's sticking with his LSU guys. And obviously, it's next to another receiver that's considered top 5, if not top 3 in the league, in Jettas, right?
Okay.
The other one that I could see him playing in, and I think it would be an actually perfect fit. And this is no shade, because I think he's come down to earth slightly with this quarterback that I'm about to mention, but I could realistically say, see this team saying, hey, let's get an upgrade. Seattle Seahawks. But Sam Darnold, again, he started out great in the early part of the year, but he came down to earth a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I'm saying, like, they have the weapons, they have the team, they have a great offensive line, solid offensive line. I would say great, but they have a solid offensive line to give him what he actually needs, right?
Okay.
So those are my two
I like it.
teams that come to mind.
I like it, Coach.
Big, you got to get out my head, dog. You
Yeah.
got to get out my head, man. See, luckily, I had a good Fox. I'm like, all right, my guys right here, they know ball, so we all gonna have some somewhat type of same taste. You know what I mean? I'm gonna hit you with some other one. So
I
first
got
off,
y'all gonna be like, uh-oh.
first off, anybody really confident in Bo Nix? No, because I love Bo Nix, but I don't love him more than Joey B. And Joey B with that Broncos. Hey, they got weapons. They have a solid running attack. Why not get a real quarterback? Not a fourth quarter quarterback, but an all 4 quarter quarterback.
Okay.
That's option 1. But see, option 2, it's a little bit different. Because see, I was thinking Seattle, right? I really was. I like the offense, I like the defense. I like the weapons around them. And they are actually in a spot to really compete. But I don't really like the NFC for Joey B. I like him in the AFC. I still want to be able to beat him from time to time, right? But AB, ain't y'all about to get rid of one next year because he already hurt?
Hey,
y'all do have a solid O-line.
Hey,
y'all do have multiple weapons, including.
You speaking my language. You speaking my language.
Have a great running back behind him.
All young guys too.
It's going to get better and better.
Mm-hmm.
AB, I'm surprised you ain't hit your own squad up. You're not even trying to look out for your own.
I ain't
look out
mad
for
at
you though, because hey, that's a great one right there.
Hey man,
DJ
but see, I don't want to see Avery when Avery said Andrew Luck.
Cam Ward, one division. That's a great lineup.
Hey,
I ain't mad at it.
Avery said Andrew Luck. He mentioned Andrew Luck in these comments, man. I don't need another heartbreak, man.
No,
I was at the pool party and got the notification, man. I still remember.
You got a line now, so you ain't gonna let him get hurt. You got a line now
and a running game. So,
All right,
I'm gonna throw some honorable mentions out there. Okay, this might raise some eyebrows, but I'm gonna throw some honorable mentions out there. Honorable mention number 1. Matthew Stafford got to retire at some point.
I was thinking the same thing. I thought about it.
He got to let it go at some point. And if the Rams go on and win a Super Bowl, what better way than to go out on top? You're going to be top 10 in passing yards, touchdowns, and 2 rings. You're a first ballot Hall of Famer. Without question, the only quarterback I believe in NFL history with multiple 5,000-yard passing seasons. Like, I mean, go out on top. And then Joe Burrow with Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua and
La La Land.
My goodness. And he loves fashion.
Yeah.
LA. The market. All the things.
You don't have to deal with the Rent-A-Cop, the Rent-A-Center one. Go get the real version and show them McVay.
I'm just, you know what I'm saying? So, All right, that's one I don't mention.
Yeah.
I don't mention
Yeah.
two,
Mm-hmm.
and I can see a straight up trade happening here. Coach, you ain't gonna like it, but Lamar Jackson for Joe Burrow. I'm a firm.
I said Baltimore.
I'm a firm believer that Joe Burrow would have had a Super Bowl right now with that Ravens team. I'm a firm believer in that.
Hey, somebody take a picture. This look like a Netflix cover.
Yeah. Listen,
the silhouette.
I'm just saying. I think the Ravens would have had a Super Bowl. Look at me in my eyes and tell me you don't think Joe Burrow could have led that team to a Super Bowl, in particular last season with Derrick Henry.
No.
Oh man,
no.
I love it. I love it.
No, not a doubt
about it.
Like I said, I'm not sure. They might. They could. I'm not 100% sure. They could, right? They have the Atlanta Falcons first round pick, right?
Well, they had the capital to get him, and they have the money if Stafford leaves.
I'm just saying.
Stafford's getting the brief straw.
Retire. He couldn't just
listen. I'm just saying. All right. So there's that. Now I'm going to get to the teams that I think actually it makes sense. You guys already named one of them. That's the Colts, right? I think the Colts absolutely make sense. With, again, as good as Daniel Jones was this year, as much as he deserves a contract, I think it's a Sam Darnold situation where it's like he'll probably get a contract from another team. And, again, are we really going to take Daniel Jones over Joe Burrow? I think you kind of be like, you know what? That actually makes a ton of sense for us. Let's go and get Joe Burrow. And it's not that quarterback was the position that was holding them back this year. It is now, obviously, with the injury to Daniel Jones, that's going to be something that obviously moving forward is going to be an issue with, a 44-year-old quarterback and different things like that. But that's one of the things. The other team, the Arizona Cardinals. Let's not forget that the Arizona Cardinals were actually competing early in the year, up until they lost James Conner for the season. I think if you get a Joe Burrow, which they're not, they're undecided on Kyler Murray at this point. It's the writing's on the wall. What are we talking about, right? I think the Arizona Cardinals, which lead me to another short quarterback, Tua Tagovailoa, and we're going to talk about this later. We don't know what's going on with him. But could you imagine Joe Burrow with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Darren Waller and Devon Achane? I think that's a scary looking football team. Two more teams, and I'll get out of it. JT, shout out to you for being in the comments. You actually named one of them. Atlanta. Listen, the Michael Penix project, we're not sure about, right? And then he's got another leg injury when he came in, and the questions were, could he make it through an NFL season? He becomes the full-time starter and does not make the full NFL season. You talk about a great offensive line who can protect the quarterback, a good running game, and Bijan Robinson and weapons, and Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, when healthy, is a 1,000-yard receiver. We saw that with Kirk Cousins, right? If you're looking to rebuild and not have to and rebuild the offensive line, trade, bring in veteran stability and Kirk Cousins, right? Obviously, he's not the long-term answer, but he's the guy in there for the time being while you build that offensive line, and then go draft Arch Manning. If you feel like he's the guy in a year or two, right? I'm just, okay? And then the last team, and this is the last one, and for me, I'm like, if they do this, they might win. They might win 3 straight.
This man naming the whole league right now.
They might win.
He better not say them Lions.
No. The Pittsburgh Steelers, though. O-M to the G. And here's the reason I say this. Here's the reason I say this. You don't have a lot of money tied up in the quarterback position right now. Aaron Rodgers is on a 1-year deal, and he's retiring at the end of the season, as you said. Jalen Warren's not making a top tier amount of money as far as running back. Neither is DK Metcalf at receiver. You're probably going to draft more weapons for whoever the quarterback is going to be moving forward. You're losing some of the old. I don't want to say dead weight because I don't think Darius Slay is dead weight, right? I think he's still a really good corner, but he's said that this is his last season. Jalen Ramsey's got but so much time left, but you just got younger and bringing in Asante Samuel Jr. You got Joey Porter Jr., who's been playing like an All-Pro this year. Highsmith, T.J. Watt, and it's within the division where we've seen very strange things happen already with the Browns trading Joe Flacco to the Bengals, right, in the division. So, but if you mean to tell me Joe Burrow would not be cooking, especially under that, again, a stable organization, a respected head coach. OMG, the Bengals trade Burrow to a division rival. Everybody, including the owners, should be fired. I agree.
Right.
I agree. They should not do it. They I don't think they will. But could you imagine?
I'm not as high on that one.
I can imagine him getting hurt now with them crappy tackles that they have trying to block for Aaron Rodgers right now. That's why he has to throw all of these quick little passes. And unless they have in Darnell Washington and multiple running backs there to block or extra block, that's the only time he has any time deep.
Yeah, I don't know about the Steelers. Bro.
Why would you put him on the Dolphins when the Dolphins are the Bengals? But
right, I was about to say
it's the same situation. Weapons all around them, bad line, and a bad organization.
I think the offensive line for the Dolphins is better than the offensive line for the Bengals.
It's better, but it's not like miles. I say that
because we're seeing Devon Achane still have success rushing and receiving the football. Like I think
so. The Bengals offensive line, let's say they're 31st, right? Let's just say they're 31st.
The
Dolphins would be 28th.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They slightly better.
Come on, man.
They be 28th.
Okay.
Devon Achane is not producing because of that O-line. He producing because he's a talent.
Okay. I mean, I guess.
The only one I do like the Cardinals. The Cardinals one I could see being a situation because they do got weapons there.
I like you for the future. I just don't like you for like more immediate, like a year.
Yeah. Of course not. Yeah.
Next year, maybe like 2 years, 3 years. I love the Cardinals actually.
Yeah.
I like the other ones just. Oh, excuse me. Hold up. Let me make this clear. I don't like the fact that your honorable mention.
We gotta address
crazy, sir.
We gotta address it.
I don't know what you're thinking. Take them for your team. Take them for B team. Take them for any team. But
Falcons too. Falcons too.
You don't want him. We know who it is. It's the 8 on the back, 8 on the chest. Come on, man.
Yeah, that 8 on the back, 8 on the chest is one playoff win. Anyway,
hey. All I'm gonna say is, hey, they did the last two times that the Ravens have won the Super Bowl, they had a fairer skinned brother as the quarterback. That's all I would say.
Now,
this is the year that we changed.
Listen, I'm not going to get into that. I'm just saying, like, and that's why I said honorable mention because again, I don't think it'll happen. I just don't think that. But
yeah,
I could absolutely see again a team like the Colts, a team like the Falcons. I can absolutely see. And to your point, Brandon, I could kind of see the Broncos as well, right? Like I could see them saying, "Hey, listen, man, Bo Nix, like we got a chance to get Joe Burrow, right?" So I can see that happening, but I guess we'll see what takes place for Joe Burrow. If anything, it could just be blowing smoke. But like I said before, there's another quarterback who, again, and I this is the reason why I think that he could get traded there, who just got benched for the season. He just got benched for the season, and we don't know what's going on with him. The organization, to me, it shows that they don't necessarily believe. So I can absolutely see Joey B getting traded for Tua Tagovailoa, who just got benched. I'm just saying, like, what are your thoughts on this benching what does this mean for the Dolphins? And what are some potential landing spots for Tua? I'll start with you, Brandon.
So, I mean, Tua has been a guy like ever since that leap year he took, which was I think 2 years ago, right? We know the constant injuries that have happened from a concussion perspective as well. Tua, especially with losing a Tyreek Hill this year and only having like a weapon like a Jalen Waddle, at least from a receiver standpoint, right? Not to say Devon Achane hasn't been great because he has, but the writing on the wall is that this organization is coming apart. And when things start to come apart, you normally start at the top, right? And if you work your way down from an organization level down to the players on the field, the next logical place is at the quarterback position. And we know that Tua is not like my whole take has always been on Tua. He's not the most accurate quarterback, or hasn't been like the craziest accurate quarterback in my opinion, right?
That's true.
Not saying that he's not. I'm not saying that he can't be accurate, or he isn't, or he hasn't been. But I don't think he's ever been elite.
Let me bring a clarifying statement here, okay? Yep. Because I think people mislabel accuracy with ball placement, right? Accuracy and ball placement are two different things. Accuracy means you can get it to the receiver. Ball placement means you keep it away from defenders, and there's a difference.
So then maybe we can talk about ball placement then being where I'm talking about that.
Exactly.
If that's what you want to say.
He's extremely accurate. That was the highlight. Like that was the big thing for him coming out of the draft.
His anticipation was on the beam.
His accuracy.
That's what he was saying.
It was accuracy.
And so he has an arm. Like he has an arm on him. Like he can sling it, right? But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that he hasn't been that guy to me that's been like this guy that's like holistically what I'm saying about him. He hasn't been this guy that I've always been high on and saying, man, he's an elite quarterback. He's a guy that you can keep around for year after year after year. It was almost kind of like, okay, this is the high, but what happens when certain things start to take place within the offense? What happens when you start to see changes in the organization from a coaching perspective? Is he that type of quarterback that can withstand those type of controversial or even just the adversity, right, that comes with being in that quarterback position, a la like the greats that we've seen before. And I haven't said that about him. And with the way the season went in the beginning, with the whole issues that were kind of going on with Tyreek Hill, which as we know has been his key cog, in bringing kind of his name, up in the rankings as far as like how we see quarterbacks around the league. With that being gone, and Tyreek obviously kind of proverbially, I don't know if you guys saw the tweet, but he puts up a tweet with the peace out sign shortly after this takes place as well, which again, writing on the wall, right? So my whole point is that the consistent theme with this organization and with Tua is like, and my just thoughts on it, the writing's been on the wall. I just didn't see this thing standing for too long. Just considering the kind of peaks that the organization took a couple years ago when everything was kind of on a high, and then when the adverse things started taking place, you started to kind of see things start to crumble and see how, I don't want to say fragile the overall team is, but just fragile the organization is, right? That it's not on solid ground, so to speak. And that's just been the theme with the Dolphins and with obviously this offense now. Same thing, it kind of stretches, and I know we'll talk about this later, but I don't think Mike I can't think of his name right now. McDaniel, yeah. I don't think Mike McDaniel is necessarily the issue with the team, but I don't think, to me, he's that coach that you need when you're trying to establish an organization, right? And it's not to say he can't coach, but it's to say that, is this the coach that the organization needs to kind of have this from not just a tactical perspective as a coach, but also from a organizational, like, this is what our standard is. This is how we operate. This is how we conduct ourselves within the organization, a la like a Pittsburgh, right, with Mike Tomlin or somebody like that. And if you're talking about reshaping the organization, he's another guy that's kind of, to me, as we get into that topic, also later on, is kind of in the same position as Tua. I know Tua just got benched, but the next thing we might be talking about is Mike McDaniel as well. So Tua, where I could see him going. I mean, like again, I don't have high hopes for him personally. Nothing personal, but it's just it's just what I've observed. Especially with his injury history as well, with the concussions and things of that nature. The only team I can think of, like, and you kind of brought this team up, Avery, and our talk just about Joe Burrow. But if they did want maybe, I don't know, an upgrade from like a Kyler Murray potentially, I could see him going to like a Cardinals, just to get some, again, a different face in there. Again, like Tua is now falling into this category to me where it's like we can have him, but we could also aim for better, right? For somebody who has like a higher ceiling, so to speak, right? He's kind of one of those QBs right now that's plateaued. So I don't know if there's a team that's like looking for that right now, where they're like, okay, we are at the cusp of right about to win, or inching at the door, and we want Tua. I really can't see a lot of teams that are in that market at this point, personally. So I don't, outside of maybe offering, like I said, like a Cardinals who obviously are looking to move on, it seems like, from Kyler Murray. I don't know a lot of organizations that are looking or in a place right now to say we're at the cusp. Let's go get to it.
Got you. Okay, Coach.
I've been trying to think of the best comparison I can. And Tua Tagovailoa is going to be Tyrod Taylor, but less athletic. 30-man bridge quarterback that is able to step in for a few games, but never be able to truly hit the peak of what he possibly could have been. Because Tyrod Taylor could have been a whole lot better in the beginning part of his career. Fortunately, the injuries hurt him. Same thing with Tua, the concussions. And unlike Tyrod, Tua actually broke out a little bit more. We've seen him really light it up. I don't think we'll ever see it again.
Did he?
I don't have the same trust as a lot of other people in Tua. I did not really like him as much coming out of college. I thought he was a competent quarterback. I think he had talent. I think he had potential, but I had to see it. And then after I seen that man too many times on the ground curled up, I don't have that same faith. I don't believe he'll be able to finish a actual season fully healthy, no injuries. I don't think he'll be able to lead his team into the playoffs, into a bad weather game, and be able to truly win it. I don't have the faith in Tua. It's not that I do not think Tua is a good player. It is I do not have faith that he is a franchise quarterback.
Okay.
He is a good player. Again, Tyrod Taylor, we can agree, is a good player. He is a serviceable guy to come in, to run the show if needed.
I gotta stop you. Because you brought it up twice now.
That's it.
I think we are underselling Tyrod Taylor a little bit here. Okay, let's not forget that Tyrod Taylor. Let's not forget that Tyrod Taylor took a Bills team who had not seen the playoffs in 20 years to the playoffs. You forget he brought them to the playoffs before Josh Allen got there.
Yeah,
and then they did.
People.
Then let's not forget he took a Cleveland team who had not won a game in 2 years and had them start. I believe they started 2-1 or 3-1 or something like that.
And injuries.
That's the year that Baker, but that's the year that Baker stepped in, right?
Let's also not forget on the Chargers. He was hooping on the Chargers until they punctured his lung. The team doctors punctured his lung, and that ushered in the Justin Herbert era.
We got to get Justin in there.
Hold on. I'm not comparing Tua to Tyrod because Tyrod has been getting the short end of the stick. Tua he's been doing it himself. There's a difference. His play on the field has been subpar. Tyrod has been getting the short end of the stick. The Bills did him dirty. The Browns did him dirty. The Chargers literally did him dirty. So I understand the sentiment and the underlying theme you're trying to get across of he's not a guy and Tyrod Taylor is the best we can hope for Tua. But I think Tyrod, if given the actual opportunity, could have been much better than what we saw.
Is he? I got a better one. Sam Bradford. Sam Bradford. Because
Sam Bradford never was able to sling it like Tua can for me.
Okay.
He was good in anticipation, but his accuracy was not the same, and he didn't have as good. Honestly, I'm gonna say this: Sam Bradford didn't have a better arm than Tua.
No, he didn't.
Tua had a better arm than him.
I'm just thinking about his career, like how they were hyped on him, and really translated to being like a glorified backup. To be honest, kind of like.
And that's all that it is, because again, Tyrod was a beast when he was healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And he unfortunately, like Tua, when they were balling, had injury issues that is going to slow them down and bring their career to a journeyman bridge quarterback. Please don't get it twisted. Tyrod was hooping. He took over for EJ Manuel. Let's really throw it back.
EJ Manuel. That's a name.
EJ Manuel was
that's the name.
Self and made the Bills actually somewhat relevant to watch.
EJ was tough. Yeah,
we got to give Tyrod his props for that. But unfortunately, the injuries, the same way it's hurt Tua, it's hurt him.
I don't think it's injuries.
It's injuries and I think is what you.
I can accept that. I can accept injuries and.
I'll take injuries and then that's fine. We can go with that. But we can't say that it's not at least similar. And that's a great comparison, because if Tyrod is his comparison, that means he had a whole lot of potential that never got seen.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to say this. What have been the knocks on Tua since he got into the NFL? Pretty much the same knocks when he was coming out of college, which is why I was never a huge believer in Tua Tagovailoa being in the NFL. And these are the knocks. Not to say that he couldn't be good. I always thought he could be good. I just never thought he would be a starter. And I said this before, I think he should be a career backup. Why? Here are the knocks. Okay. Accuracy, not a knock. His accuracy is really good. But here's the first knock. Ball placement.
Yeah.
Okay? His ball placement is an issue. Okay. He does not throw receivers open, and he does not keep the ball away from defenders. In the NFL, it's not good enough to throw to wide open receivers. Anybody can do that. You have to throw receivers open. Timing and anticipation matter. Which means number 2, reading defenses. His ability to process information pre-snap and in particular post-snap. Mainly post-snap. Putrid. If his first read's not there, Tua panics.
Mm-hmm.
And we see him get the happy feet, and he's doing this. And he's not sure what to do because he's not the most athletic guy, which is another knock. But he can't read defenses very, very much pre-snap, but definitely post-snap. It's really bad. And I think the reason for that is knock number 4, his height. He cannot see over the line, which is another knock for Kyler Murray.
Yep.
I one of the greatest things that ever came out was being able to watch live games on Amazon Prime. Shout out to Prime in Prime Vision, because that actually shows you who. And shout out to my boy Pat for putting me on. That actually shows you who makes good reads and who makes bad reads. Whose ball placement is good, who's accurate, who's all the different things. And I was watching Kyler and I said, "Oh, Kyler's actually really good. He can't see over the line." Like it's not talent for Kyler. He's got an arm. He's accurate. He can scramble. He's athletic. He's making right read. I'm like, oh, that's the right read. It got batted down at the line. That's not like it's his fault, but it's not his fault. Like, but that's another knock with Tua. It's like you can't see over the line, and then you're not as athletic as Kyler to get out the pocket and make things happen. So when you do, you take sacks. He took 3 sacks in this past game, instead of throwing the football away, simply because he's not athletic enough to get out the pocket, throw the football away, throw it, get it to the line of scrimmage, which is, again, knock number 5, his arm strength. Those are the 5 knocks.
Why he doing a Kobe?
That I'm like, he needs to be a backup. He's not. I don't believe he's a starter in the NFL. I never did. I liked what Mike McDaniel did and everything like that, but I just didn't believe in Tua. I felt like he was going to be the kryptonite to, he was going to be the Achilles heel. And yeah, he's, I think 0-5 or 0-6 now in games less than 30 degrees. He can't play in the cold. He came from Honolulu, Hawaii to Alabama to Miami.
Scorching.
Not Honolulu, University of Hawaii, excuse me. To Alabama to Miami. And then he gotta go play in Chicago. Y'all think he gonna play in Chicago? Well, it was negative not. Nah, B. Nah, it ain't happening. And
it's backup Baker. That might work.
It's been proven, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been proven. So here are my teams. You actually just named one. Go back up Baker.
It's Tampa, right? Stay in the warm weather.
Go back up Baker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Very similar in stature. Baker's not the biggest guy. He's bigger than Kyler, but he's not the biggest guy, right? And it's a safe system in the sense that
friendly system with good weapons.
It's a safe system in the fact that they have a decent offensive line, they got a good running game, and they've got weapons on the outside, right? It's safe. It's a safe choice. All right. So go back up Baker Mayfield. All right. The next team that I think that he could go to, and this is not a team that I think they should make this move, but if he wants to start and have an opportunity to start, I think he can. And he might actually have success because the division's weak. Go to New Orleans. If they're not sold on Tyler Shuck and Rattler, and go to New Orleans. Go there and see what you can do. Because again, the division isn't that strong.
They desperate at this point too. The Saints.
You get what I'm saying? The division's not that strong. Go.
And you're wasting what's his name's golden years too now. Chris Olave.
Go ahead on.
Yeah, but you're also still going to waste it with Tua there because is he really that much of an upgrade that we feel like he could have did better than a Derek Carr or whoever is at quarterback now or last year?
Nah, I again, it's not that situation. I think they believe in Bryce. I think Bryce has proven himself to be.
He could be a backup. He could be a backup to Bryce.
I mean, yeah, backup. Yeah, sure.
Backup Bryce. Backup Lawrence.
I was saying
Trevor Lawrence, Jacksonville.
If you're saying backup theirs, then I agree. But here's the real team. Here's the actual team that I believe he needs to go to, and that's because this guy is a quarterback whisperer. Go back up JJ on the Vikings. Okay? 1, you bring in veteran stability, right, to help JJ learn. 2, we've seen their coach succeed with Kirk Cousins. We've seen their coach succeed with Sam Darnold. We've seen their coach succeed somewhat with J.J. McCarthy.
And Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm. Mr. O'Connell knows how to get the best out of quarterbacks. Let's just call it what it is. I think he goes, learns from Kevin O'Connell. I think he could potentially revive his career, but potentially. I don't think it's going to happen because, like I said, those 5 knocks are big, glaring knocks. But if anybody could do it, Kevin O'Connell. But that's just my take on it.
I think if I could say one thing though, I think this is why, right? All that stuff that you said has been overshadowed because you have guys who can, in Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, they can make plays from a lot of nothing.
Let me talk about that. Okay, let me talk about that. Number 1, when did the Dolphins start to actually? Oh, excuse me. There was a 6th knock on Tua, and I'll get up to it in this point. And this is actually the biggest knock, number 6. When did the Dolphins start to play well this year? After Tyreek got hurt.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
So
As a team,
Tyreek Hill has not been a catalyst for that team the way people are making it seem. I'm not saying that he's not a catalyst. I'm saying that he is not the key to the engine. He's not.
Right. But just to interject on that point is I'm saying in the capacity of Tua looking better or looking good in those situations,
better.
It's made up because he has guys like
better
that.
now without Tyreek Hill. First of all, because he's not dependent on Tyreek Hill. He has to actually make reads. He has to throw receivers open. And they were going on a win streak without Tyreek Hill.
But that's my point. Tyreek was covering it. It was covering for him because he didn't have to. Like you just said, he didn't have to make reads. He didn't have to do all these other things that you said are not. So Tyreek speed and even Jalen Waddle's speed,
so bringing him back
make up for those.
So what you're saying is bringing him back makes him regress. We don't want that to happen.
I agree. I'm agreeing with you in that capacity. But what I'm trying to say is that when you have speedster receivers like that at your disposal, it makes up for these things that Tua lacks in some capacity.
Yeah, in a sense, but not holistically.
No, of course not holistically.
When it really comes down to it, it don't matter. Like we saw L'Jarius Sneed absolutely lock down Tyreek Hill in the playoffs. I'm talking about made him touch earth with his jam. Like that type of, you know what I mean?
Well, that's always been a knock. That's been a knock for him.
We talk about BTA. That was anyway. But that's one of the and Tyreek Hill was a cancer in the locker room anyway. He don't even want to be there. So I'm not even saying. But knock number 6. This is the biggest knock. Tua, and I'm not saying this because we live in a very sensitive culture. I'm not saying this is in fact the case. I'm saying based on what I've seen on the field, based on what I've seen in press conferences, based on what I've seen in interviews, Tua is a horrible leader.
I agree.
Horrible leader. That is the biggest knock. He cannot lead that team.
I completely agree.
Again, I'm not saying this is in fact the case. I'm saying what I have seen, the fruit that I've seen from those 3 different outlets have shown me he sucks, which is unfortunate coming from, in my opinion, one of the greatest leaders on planet Earth in Nick Saban. Granted, it could be a situation where he was leaning so heavily on Nick Saban that he never developed as a leader himself. And I say that because I don't have leadership questions about Bryce Young. I don't have leadership questions. I don't have leadership questions about any player who, especially self-leadership and self-discipline, from any player who came from the Alabama, the tutelage of Nick Saban at his time at Alabama. We don't hear leadership issues questions with Julio Jones and Amari Cooper, or even Josh Jacobs, if we want to go more recent, or Najee Harris. We don't hear anything about that. Tua, on the other hand, we don't hear from Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, but Tua is the proof's in the pudding. So that's just me. Where I'm gonna get off of that, and we're gonna jump into our last topic of the night real quick, because it kind of is around this, and I'm actually gonna kick this one off. All right. And that is coaches on the hot seat. All right. We got some coaches that are clearly on the hot seat. And let's just stick with the theme, right? We're talking about the Dolphins and Tua and everything like that. Obviously, I think everybody here can agree that Mike McDaniel is on the hot seat. Here's the thing, though. I'm going to agree with you, Brandon. I don't think he's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
I think where the organization was when they got him was. So it looks like he's the problem. You are absolutely correct. And he is not the guy that you want to come in, because here's the knock on Mike McDaniel. He's great at setting culture. He's great at calling offense. What he's not good at, and this is the biggest thing, this is why when they hired him, is not good. He's not a builder.
Nope.
He don't build. Mike Tomlin, he builds. Harbaugh, look at what he did in 1 year with the Chargers. 1 year. He builds. Michigan, he built. San Fran before Michigan, he builds.
He built a lot of problems in Michigan.
Right?
We gotta have a talk about that too.
Here's the best case I can show people. Okay, this is the best thing that's comparable. Mark Jackson, builder. Steve Kerr, champion. Mark Jackson built that team because he can build teams. Steve Kerr knows how to coach that team to a championship. I'm not saying Mark Jackson couldn't have. I'm saying that I know Steve Kerr can. I think McDaniel would have been much better suited taking the Ben Johnson route. Stay offensive coordinator just a little while longer until the team that's like, wait, oh, y'all got a foundation. I don't have to build nothing. I just gotta take y'all over the top. Yeah, I'm going to Chicago. I got this. Why?
The organization got boots on the ground.
Because it's already there.
Mm-hmm.
The foundation. Oh, you already got a quarterback. Oh, you already got a remit. Oh, you already got receivers signed and some long-term deals. Oh, y'all got defense. Oh, I can do that. Let me go ahead and do that. Boom. I think it's another reason why Raheem Morris is not having success in Atlanta. Great at doing culture. Great at calling defense. We haven't seen him build anything. Failed as the Bucs head coach. Failed in the interim as the Falcons head coach. And now as the full-time head coach. Here's a stat that a lot of people don't know. And this is moving to my second quarterback. My second coach who's on the hot seat. The Atlanta Falcons, out of the top 30 worst coaches and coaching tenures in NFL history, the Atlanta Falcons organization has 4. 4 of them. And Raheem Morris is one of them. I'm talking about with the worst winning percentage as a head coach, with at least, I believe it's at least 50 games coach. We got 4 of them. And Raheem Morris is one of them. He's definitely on the hot seat. At least he should be.
Oh, yeah, he definitely is. But
because when he got brought in, what did he say?
Super Bowl.
If he said, if the Falcons had competent quarterback play, I wouldn't be here. Which tells all the fans, we don't have no holes but quarterback. Kirk Cousins brought in. And then we draft Michael Penix. And then we see what we see on the football field for the last 2 seasons. Yet you haven't fired your offensive coordinator. I thought quarterback was.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins was under center in his last 2 games, more than Michael Penix was the entire season. I'm gonna just leave that out there. And the last coach that I believe, actually, I'm gonna just take those 2. I'm gonna toss it to you guys. Coach, who are the coaches on the hot seat for you?
So I thought about this for a while, and it took me a minute because there's so many ways you can go, and there's some good teams that honestly can switch out. Like, and this is a hypothetical, but this is also honorable mention, the Bills. And this is going to go back. Hold up, this is going to go back to my point.
I like that.
Is no longer there.
I like that point.
If y'all can't get to the Super Bowl now, when are you going to do it? The Ravens are not the Ravens this year. You don't have to worry about Lamar like that. When are you going to do it?
Or the Chiefs?
The Chiefs is gone. Right. Lamar is gone. Burrow is out. Who are you worried about? and you can't go ahead and listen. That's an honorable mention, but I got two really serious ones, and both honestly kind of deserve it, but one more than the other. So my first one, and I'm gonna go to both conferences. So NFC Cardinals, Jonathan Gannon. Sorry, you got to go, buddy. You got to go. It's about that time you hit the wrong person.
Real quick.
That is the only reason why he has hitched his ride to the wrong person. I don't think he's a bad DC. I don't think he's a bad coach. I think he has the wrong place. And I think he has the
Drake May. Yeah, I was about to say the Patriots. I mean,
talk heavy, Darius. Talk heavy, Darius. Let them know.
Bills got to go through New England, but
21-0.
Real quick.
21-0.
Real quick. Oh my. Real quick.
Oh.
On the Gannon. Actually, I was thinking about that, but then I thought, and I was like, I don't think he should be, and here's why. Kyler Short, man. Like we saw, look at what Jacoby Brissett is doing. Like, think about it. Look
you
at
keep letting this man slide, man.
Look at what he keeps going straight to. Listen.
Look at Jacoby.
Hey, look.
Vertically challenged.
You're right.
There's a quote. There's a quote.
Vertically challenged, but look at what Jacoby Brissett is doing with that offense.
There's a quote. If my car could float, it would be a boat. Kyler's just short, and look, hey, I didn't tell you to come over and try to do something with the short quarterback, Jonathan. I mean, you just like
you want it.
What I'm saying is, it could be a situation where it's like, yo, let me go get my quarterback.
He went and got his guy. He could have had an opportunity to let him go before they read up on that deal.
Mm-hmm.
When they said he wasn't sure, hey, is he going to really watch film? And we got to make sure that he's not just sitting there playing.
That was a crazy time. That was a crazy time.
He had opportunity.
It wasn't the situation where it's not a situation where Kyler's again making bad reads. It's not a situation he's playing, but he's just small. Like that's what's holding him back. He's making reads.
What did we just say though? We said, look, if my car, you know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, if this league
car can do a lot of things, it just can't float.
Shut up. Everybody have a ring.
A car can do a lot of things, it just can't float. That's all I'm gonna say.
Again, if it was a shoulda, coulda, woulda league, everybody would have a ring.
I'm gonna sit off screen while y'all talk about it because it's kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. Go ahead.
It's okay. Because listen, I'm gonna move on. And
he moved on to the other birds, yo. He with the other birds now, coach.
Oh,
he with the Cards.
Crazy. Listen, man. Listen, the Cards is there again. He hitched his ride to the wrong wagon. I don't actually dislike Gannon. I don't. But he hitched his ride to the wrong wagon. Now, in terms of my other team, this one is purely all on the coach. This is not because he hitched his ride. This is not because he.
I know exactly what you're about to say, and he needs to go.
Are you dumb?
He need to go.
Are you dumb?
As a matter of fact, not just go. He need to be
Why
banned.
are we wasting multiple people's time?
He need to be banned.
Why are you wasting this franchise quarterback's time?
Why are you a head coach?
Generational.
What are you talking about?
Player and talent.
I don't know about all that.
He's not a generational player. Listen here.
It remains to be seen. It's too early.
Let's make this very clear.
It's too early to see.
No.
To say, man.
Stop and listen.
It's too early to say.
There's no way. Me, you, Brandon, Juan, Darius, ain't none of us going to say that Myles Garrett is not a generational talent.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because we both know it's Shador, that franchise guy that you wasted for a guy that we all knew should have never been drafted before Shador. We know that. But you're also wasting a 21.5 sack season in 14 games by Myles Garrett.
Stefanski needs to be banned from being an NFL head
coach. You went on live TV.
It's clear cut. It's the most obvious.
But
like,
most blatant. Most blatant.
You blatantly said, hey, We're gonna see how this works out. That's dumb. That guy went in there in his first game and won. He has shown the next couple games, hey, he's still a rookie.
Hey,
he also has shown more flashes than Dillon Gabriel has in his
way more.
Is he allowed to sue? Because Shedeur sue the Browns organization for how they treated? Because like at this point, it seems like
there's no need.
At
this point,
if the rumors are true that they gave him purposely the wrong wristband, at this point, it's like
that's wild. Yes, that's wild.
Again, there's been multiple clips, and I hope that y'all know these guys. RDC, everybody know RDC World. Everybody heard of them before?
Yeah. Yes, I saw that. Yo, I saw that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be very honest. That was one of the funniest things because of how true it possibly could have been. That is when truly it's funny because of how real it could have been. And if you know, people, I'm not going to go too far into it, but if you know, listen, RDC, Kevin Stefanski, you got to go, my guy. I loved you actually when you had Baker. I think you're a good coach in a lot of aspects, but you have been doing a lot of players wrong these last couple of games, and in particular this last year. It's time for you to go. Sorry, bro.
I can dig it. Listen, I gotta throw it to B, but if he don't say this team, I'm gonna say it, and I don't know how people are gonna receive it, but it is what it is. Brandon, who coaches on the hot seat for you?
Yeah, I mean, primary candidate for me. You took it right, Minds think alike. I mean, but it's pretty obvious. I mean, like Stefanski, I think it's time. It's just time.
Who? I'm sorry. Continue, Brandon.
No. I heard him. So, but I think the other teams. I mean, I think it's a carousel, honestly. In the AFC North, coach kind of said it, but I think number one, the other team outside of the Browns, though, is I think the Bengals might have to move on, man. It's not his. It's not. Again, I don't completely, because obviously there's been injuries, there's been other different things.
No, I agree.
But he has to. It's time. It's time to change the trajectory. It's time to change the nature of the organization. It's time to get a new voice in there. To me, he's another guy.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
I want to be clear here. I think it's time for him to go, but I don't think he's the reason he has to go.
Correct. Agreed. It's not all of it. He's not all of it.
With Joe Burrow being hurt, with y'all not drafting offensive line.
He just ran his course.
Yeah,
but I don't think, and I just it ran its course, and it's kind of like it's kind of in some ways similar in ways like a Sean McDermott type of situation, only because it's just like it's gone on for too long, and to me, I don't think like. Zach Taylor, again, is not a guy to me. Like, when you have a young team like that and you have a Joe Burrow, who is a guy who has clearly shown he's not that – I'm not saying he has no form of leadership at all, but the leadership is just not like the a la the leaders that we've seen in other generations of quarterbacks, right? So you need a guy like that is going to be that spark. And I mean, I've watched a couple different clips. I think it was like one from Hard Knocks or something. And I'm just like, he does not get the attention of these guys, like holistically. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not the one. Again, I'm a big I'll just say this for myself personally. I'm a big culture guy. Like in my own organization, even at my job, I'm like, listen, like we can have all the talent in the room and stuff like that, but if the pieces ain't put in the right place, if the people that are supposed to be doing their jobs and doing their assignments holistically aren't responding to the leader that's assigned in that room, it's not going to come together. And I don't think that Zach Taylor is the guy for the state of the organization that it is today and the team going forward. And then the last thing I was going to say, it might be a time for change in Baltimore. It might be time.
Man, you about to get
again. And the only reason I'm not including Mike Tomlin is because Mike Tomlin, to me, he hasn't gotten close enough to the hump for us to say, oh, you know what? He got to the hump and he just couldn't get over it, right? Ravens been there time and time again. And again, Harbaugh's been there for what? Over 10 years now, right? And this organization, like, to me, the Steelers have they have the difference between Steelers and Ravens. Steelers have a baseline to me, right? They have a They're like one of those tweener teams. The Ravens have a ceiling that needs to be reached.
Look,
and
if
it's just like,
you don't want Harbaugh and they don't want Tomlin, bring them to Atlanta. How about that?
How about
hey,
this?
I'm tired of this.
You got to put Tomlin in there if you're going to put Harbaugh
I'm
in
tired of this.
there.
I
And
just don't. But I'm thinking from an
very-
organizational standpoint. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. You know what I mean? Like that's the only difference I said, because with the pieces that I don't know if I'm willing to say right now that the Pittsburgh Steelers are in the same place where they have the same ceiling as the Ravens. That's all I'm gonna say.
But they have the same exact thing that they've done for the last 8 years now.
Right,
said
but at
that-
least they're
You
keeping
said
up with that.
Harbaugh has not broken through the ceiling. Harbaugh
Right.
has won at least more than 2 games in the last.
But in terms of this generation of the Ravens, he hasn't
he-
gotten through that.
I get
Not
that.
And we've been
But-
there.
But let's
Not
be real.
wrong.
Do you want a team to be consistently just above 500?
But
Just
my
made
question
it
is,
to the
but they don't have the
playoffs.
pieces though.
And
But the
not-
Steelers don't have the same pieces as the Ravens. That's why I'm saying that. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. They don't have the
They
exact
have
same
TJ
pieces.
Watt. They have Cameron Hayward.
Defense. I'm talking about the whole entire team. The offense is mid.
All right,
They can't
all
put
right.
points up on the board.
Tell me right
That's
now.
enough
do they
of the-
not
that's
have
enough of the
Antonio
slander.
Brown?
That's enough of the slander of Hall of Fame coaches. I ain't gonna have
It's
that.
not. It's not. Yo, they're Hall of Fame. Nobody's saying they're not saying they're Hall of Fame.
It's
Tired of
time.
It's just
And
Anyway,
listen, if it could be time on Bill Belichick, it could be time for John Harbaugh.
Yeah.
And
It
it
wasn't-
was
it wasn't time on Bill Belichick, but whatever.
It was time.
I'm going to say this, and like I said, there might be a little controversy here, but I don't really care. If they don't win the division, I'm sorry, but the Bucks they're gonna need a new head coach.
I was about to say the Bucks too. I was going to say
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
yes. I was going to say yes because they dropped. They did a spin this year. They did
Now,
a spin.
granted, injuries absolutely pretty much derailed their season, right? Not having Chris Godwin for most of the season, not having Mike Evans for 8 weeks of the season. I believe even Emeka Egbuka was out for 2 games.
Bucky
right?
Irving was out. Yep.
Bucky Irving was out for like 6 or 7 games, right? And then defensively, right? I don't think that I think some of the pieces just didn't fit well and make sense. But the Panthers,
They're about to win the division.
if
crazy.
like I'm sorry. Listen, I'm sorry, but you've gotten to the playoffs. You've won the division the last 3 years, and you constantly get bounced. It's like you're just winning the division just to make the playoffs. You ain't get bounced. Just to say, yeah, we won the division though. At this point, to Brandon's point about getting over the hump, I think it might be like, all right, yo, like we appreciate you building the team and doing the things that you did and yada yada yada, but like we might need somebody else to get us over the hump for real. Make us actually competitors, not just Baker was in line for MVP.
I remember. Yes.
You
Yes.
understand? But I don't know. Coach, final thoughts, and we'll wrap this up.
You just stated that they went ahead, won the division, just to go to the playoffs and do nothing, correct?
Uh-huh.
Tomlin, just above 500, just enough to get to the playoffs, to not do anything.
Okay. But context matters.
Right.
Yeah, context matters.
Okay, so
This
let's
Super Bowl winning coach.
Let's give context. Okay.
Cool. Both are Super Bowl winning coaches.
Hold
Yes.
on. Let's give context. Let's start here. Number 1. Who is the quarterback for the Steelers
Right.
after from Ben Roethlisberger until Aaron Rodgers? Thank you. Number 2, the division that both play in. Are you about to sit and tell me that the NFC South is even remotely close to as competitive as the AFC North? It's not even close. You don't have to. Todd Bowles don't gotta have to deal with the.
Are we talking about context? Or are we talking about results?
We're talking about both, and the context matters when it comes to results.
His results have been for how many years?
But they don't have. But we're saying, Coach, they don't have the same thing. They don't have the same tools in the toolbox.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, with Todd Bowles, again, first of all, let's just call it what it is. Todd Bowles is a great coach. I think he's a phenomenal coach, right?
It's time to go though.
Again, it's a situation where it's just like, hey man, your roster hasn't really changed too much the last couple of years. You haven't had questions at quarterback over the last two and a half years. Baker's been it. Like that's not the Steelers. They've had questions. That's why they went and was like, you know what? Let's get a first ballot Hall of Famer in here. Let's see what he can do. Because we don't know, like that's the only hole, proverbially, in their offense right now. So it's just like, okay, and what happened when they got it? They're leading the division right now. So the context absolutely matters. I'm not saying
they're also leading the division last year.
I'm not saying you said
they was leading the division last year at one point, and they still.
Actually, let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question though. Let me baseline this question because this is the same argument that I had when we were talking about between the Ravens and the Steelers. My question for Avery is: do you think the Bucs have, with the roster they have current day, when healthy, a higher ceiling than the Steelers?
100%.
That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, I'm talking about the ceiling of the team that they have present day or that they've had in the past couple seasons. The Steelers have a baseline roster.
Agree.
They have a baseline roster,
and that's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I'm saying that matters in how far you're going to go. I think the Bucs actually they beat the Eagles the year that the Eagles went to the Super Bowl and won, like last year or the year before.
It was year before that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they beat them in the playoff. Like the Eagles, the Bucs, they ain't no slouches, man. Like they could absolutely go on a run and actually win the NFC East, win the NFC, and get to the Super Bowl. It's just, hey man, are you the coach to do it? That's again, I'm not saying I want him going because I think Todd Bowles is a phenomenal.
And the Steelers go to the Super Bowl right now this year. That's enough.
I'm sorry.
Do y'all think the Steelers can go to the Super Bowl this year?
No.
This year, yes.
I don't think so.
All right, no. I'll take it as like it is. So I have one yes, one no. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, what about the last at least let's say 5 years? So all the way back to at least 2020.
No.
Have they had a chance?
No.
Okay, cool. What
they
about
have a better chance this year, but they still not getting.
No. Okay, that's cool. Last 10 years.
Late 10, like
last 10 years.
Like late 2010.
I would say late, like 9-10, when Ben Roethlisberger was still producing at a high level.
Okay,
sure,
cool.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay. And they had AB, and they had Le'Veon.
Now, let's go back at least the last 15 years because Tomlin's been there for 17.
Mm-hmm.
He has how many rings?
One.
Mm-hmm. And then all this time, he has not won or went to the place where we know him to be at. A championship coach, yes?
Yep.
Has he had rosters where he has not only had a Hall of Fame quarterback, a great all-pro running back, and a great receiver?
But that's the same argument. But
rare.
But like, I mean, outside of Bill Belichick, right? How many guys do we know have went to multiple Super Bowls?
And let's also not forget during those 10 and 15 years you were talking about, who was the king of the AFC? His name was Tom Brady. And then it just flipped over to a guy named Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, right. I get that. That's nice. But again, what is this league built on?
Quarterbacks.
This league is built on quarterbacks, and this league is built on who can win. Can the Steelers win the big game?
Not without a quarterback.
They can't make it to the big game.
They need a quarterback to get to the big game.
Does not matter because they've had years to find one.
All right, let me ask you this. Outside of your Ravens, name a team with subpar quarterback play that has gone to and won the Super Bowl. Your Ravens are the only team in the last 25 years. Your Ravens are the only team to do it.
And that was that was 25 years ago.
With Joe Flacco and with
Trent Dilfer.
Dilfer.
All All right,
Every single other Super Bowl
Stop.
winning,
Well, we not about to
every
do
single other Super Bowl winning team
What we
in
not
the
about to
last
do.
25 years
What we
has
not
had
about to do.
somebody at
No,
quarterback
put it.
at
No,
least
let's
in
be
Hall
real.
of Fame consideration.
Cool. So let's be very, very realistic on this one first, though. We are not about to sit here and make it seem like Joe Flacco was some rinky-dink quarterback, and he was not the reason that they actually made that run. Period.
I said
I'll give Trent Dilfer all day exactly the way you said it.
I said subpar quarterback.
Joe Flacco's not. When it comes down to it, Joe Flacco's not going to be in the same conversation as all the other winning quarterbacks.
Subpar quarterback, not subpar quarterback play.
Right.
He played phenomenal.
But then he's just not going to be in the same conversation.
He played phenomenal. But are we putting Joe Flacco in the same conversation as Ben Roethlisberger, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady,
Drew Brees,
Patrick Mahomes, Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers? We're not putting them in the same conversation as these guys. We're not putting them in the same conversation as Eli Manning.
Hey, didn't Russell Wilson win one?
Say it again.
No, didn't Russell Wilson win one, and all he had was
Russell Wilson stealing. Would you say Russell Wilson stealing years?
Really good.
He has a case. He has a case for the Hall of Fame. Just Joe. That was the
first off. Ho.
I knew this was about to happen.
Wilson?
I knew this was about to happen.
I don't think he should get into the Hall of Fame. I think he has a case.
So wait, do you think Russell Wilson's ceiling years were better than Joe Flacco's ceiling years?
100%.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing. I mean,
there were years.
There
were multiple years where Russell Wilson was considered in top 5 consideration. There was never a time when Joe Flacco was. That's a fact.
I can't.
But the whole point we're saying is without that quarterback, especially in this day and age of the NFL, right? Back in 2000, you could probably do some damage if you didn't have the great quarterback because you had Mark Sanchez going like to AFC Championship games, right? But what we're saying is that the Steelers again have not had the same pieces in this day and age. In this day and age, they have not had the same pieces.
And won the Super Bowl. He didn't win. Why? Because when it got to the point where it matters for your quarterback to be good, he couldn't produce.
Love that.
Peyton Manning won a Super Bowl with one arm.
Tomlin can't even get there. Sorry, Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game in the last 10 years.
Listen, man, it's hard to do that with no quarterback.
It's hard to win 9 to 10 games every single year, but he doesn't.
All right, I'm gonna end it with this. You have a 4-time MVP. Let's call it what it is. He should have 4. He should have 4.
Right.
You have a 4-time
quarterback.
He has one playoff win.
Tomlin,
hold on. Tomlin doesn't have that. Imagine if Tomlin had that. Imagine if Tomlin had that.
Nope, I'm not letting it go. I'm not letting it go. We're not about to act like he only got one. One is crazy. One is outlandish to me.
Okay, 2
lies. Let's get it really straight. Let's really get it straight. He's 3-5. We won't try to put the disrespect. Big and come correct. 3-5 is the record.
It seemed like 2. That's how bad it's been in the playoffs.
Oh, okay. So would we rather a donut or 3?
But see, you're talking about now you're comparing coach to a quarterback who has actually the ability to change. You're trying to you can't compare a player and a coach.
I'm saying
not you, Avery. I'm talking about coach.
One franchise and one coach has a MVP quarterback and has won 3 playoff games and can't get over the hump. That tells you how hard it is, in particular in the AFC, to actually get there. The other one has had subpar quarterback play for the last 10 years and is expected to not only get to the playoffs, but win in the playoffs. And here's the crazy part. Name another coach that's not having losing seasons with what he's had. Name another one.
Right.
And again, I'm not saying Tomlin is not good.
Mike McDaniel would have been gone.
Got to be gone
10 years ago.
And again, let's keep it real. Tomlin is not bad. No one is saying he's bad. but it's time for him to go.
It ain't.
But
The time fixed for everyone.
You don't.
That is the one thing that is never repeated.
Of a bill.
But you can't just do that without context, though. Like you were saying, you can't again.
Context.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been on long enough. We're going to wrap this up. We appreciate each and every one of you being on here for the Aired Out Podcast, brought to you by Inside.
Maybe the Ravens should try to get Mike Tomlin. See what happens.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
I think that's really just a swap of coaches.
I'm about to say, do the swap.
We appreciate everybody for jumping in and jumping on. Tune in. I believe we should be back here Saturday morning. We apologize for the gap in consistency there, but we'll be back here Saturday morning for Coach, for Brandon. My name is Avery. It's the Air Out Podcast, brought to you by Inside the Hash. Just let you know, if he had a quarterback that wasn't patting the football,
oh my God,
he probably would have actually got over the hump. But he didn't, because you know who was patting the football.
Hey, topic for next time. Is Lamar the guy? Is Lamar the guy?
Learn how to stop patting the football.
You can't be there for 17 years.
Have to worry about